Welcome to Kentucky Football Nation. Well, let's talk a little basketball as we're about a month away from Midnight Madness here, even less than that. Let's talk about Field of 68 basketball podcast that visited Lexington. Okay, guys, if you haven't looked at Field of 68 and you like basketball, go watch their channel, their YouTube channel. Jeff Goodman, Rob Dauster, probably the best basketball podcast, college basketball podcast anywhere on YouTube or anywhere. Close second, SEC basketball podcast, Southeastern 16, Chris Lee, Blake Lovell, Max Barr. I can't remember the third guy. They do a really good job, thorough job with SEC basketball. But if you just want college basketball in general, Field of 68 guys. So they went around to like Purdue, Louisville. They've been going around to schools, and then they've been, assessing each team as they sit through their practice and stuff. So let's go over some of their notes because I'm not going to go over everything because they gave multiple interviews. I just wrote down some of the main things they talked about. They were on KSR. They were on their own podcast talking about Mark Pope and our team. What did they say? Practiced, impressed by the scrimmages. They broke the positions down where the ones practiced with the ones, twos worked with the twos, threes worked with the threes. So they were impressed with that. So they like practice. In fact, if you watch their podcast they just put on, they're actually at practice when they're talking. Jeff Goodman is impressed with point guard Jalen Lowe. You can see his improvement. Obviously, he agrees with what everybody said, and I've said he's better than a 25% free three-point shooter. He just had to take shots because they were down and he had to jack them up. But no, you can tell they said he's the leader of one of the leaders of the team. Oh, that was my next point. One of my next points. It looked like Jalen Lowe and Otega Owe's team, and they are one of the best starting backcourts in the country, according to both Goodman and Dauster. But yeah, they said it's clear that it's those two guys' team. They talked about Jaden Quaintance. He'll be back, they said, late November or December, and Brandon Garrison's minutes could be cut in half. They probably will be cut in half because Quaintance is really, really good, as you're going to see when he gets out there. Then they talked about Jelovic, their first impressions. Of course, that's our guy from Croatia who played in Europe. He was shooting 77% from three in the practices that they watched. Pope says he will play the Andrew Carr role in our offense. Okay. Now, he's not a big physical guy, so I understand what he's saying, but they said the dude was lighting it up. Now, it's practice. Okay. We all know practice is different than the game, but no, this dude he just came out of playing a league in Europe. So I'm sure he's in playing shape. They talked about Diabate is a defensive dog that has to play within himself. I think they said, if I didn't write it on here, he's not going to score a lot of points. Pope wants him to take 3 to 4 threes per game to open up the defense. So he's not a stellar scorer or jump shooter, 3-point shooter, but he's got to take them and make a few of them so we can keep the defense honest and we don't play 5-on-4 on offense. So it looks like he'll be putting some shots up. So we'll see how that goes. But yes, that's the guy from Alabama. So yeah, if you haven't seen him play, he's a defensive dog. That was a great pickup. They asked who was the number one player that surprised them in watching our practices, and they said Colin Chandler looks far more mature and confident. They said UK has 7 solid perimeter scorers who can play significant roles. So yeah, we got plenty of scorers we can put on the floor. They like Brandon Hawthorne. They said, speaking like I'm from Kentucky, he's going to be a special player. He has the physical tools to be a special player. So yes, Braden Hawthorne. Yes, look, he's a good looking player. Once again, they talked about Colin Chandler. He looks much quicker and more mobile, similar to when he was coming out of high school, and he was one of the number 1 top 20 players in high school. I do have a shorts video of him dunking in practice. You can go back and watch that. Yeah, I think he's going to have a breakout season. I think him, yes, and Trent Noah. Yeah, they're going to play too. Look, guys, we have Man, a deep rotation. I think they talk about this later down. But let's talk about Cam Williams hit 10 straight threes in a scrimmage that they watched. That was while he was being guarded. Okay, so that was impressive. And, of course, Cam Williams, the guy from Tulane, he's one thing he can do is shoot. So, yeah, plenty of shooters. They talked about acquaintance again. They said he grew 2 inches and put on 30 pounds of muscle over the summer. I mean, that's a lot of muscle. And plus, he grew 2 more inches. And what was he, 6'8", 6'9", I think. So, yeah, the guy's getting up towards 7 foot. Okay, then they talked about Louisville and Kentucky because, they were at Louisville first. And they got Louisville ranked ahead of us. They got Louisville ranked 6 and Kentucky 7 in their preseason ranking. But they said 3 through 10, you could interchange any of them. We'll talk about who they have as the top 2 teams in a second. But, yeah, so they got Louisville ahead of us. So, we play them really early, November 15th, or, it's like our second or third game. So we're going to find out real quick. We get the Purdue scrimmage first. So at least we get to scrimmage somebody good. And, of course, that doesn't count for anything. That'll be the first basketball game you see. So we all see. Pope and Kelsey respect one another right now, is what they said. I think they'll always respect one another. And look, I like Pat Kelsey. I think it's Pat Kelsey, right? Louisville. He's a good coach. Like I always say, Jeff Brom, he's a good coach. You got to give people their due. Jeff Brom is a good coach, and Kelsey's a good coach. Here's what they said: University of Louisville is better offensively. Kentucky is better defensively. Both are possible Final Four teams. Okay, so we're ahead of defense, they're ahead on offense. So, okay, that's their assessment. So we'll go with that because they would know. Like these two guys know basketball. You guys know Jeff Goodman had a long running feud with Cal and KSR, but now he's cool. I always thought he was cool. He's cool now. They said both University of Louisville and University of Kentucky are likable teams nationally, especially their coaches. So yeah, we're gonna get some love. Look, and on a side note, when they ain't talking about us in football, okay? But when basketball's SEC Network, then you can turn them on, and of course we're gonna be talked about. Yes, we carry the flag in basketball, okay? Just wish you'd give us a little respect in football if we earn it. Okay, what else did they say? Very little difference between teams 3 through 7, but Purdue is a clear number 1. I don't know how, and Houston is a clear number 2. They didn't say why or how. Purdue. Look, I'm in Indiana. I don't know who they got that makes them the clear number 1, but it's evidently they said it's national championship or bust. So good luck putting that much pressure on yourself. Last time we did that shit, it was 38-1, and we ended up with 1. So, okay, all right. Well, I don't know who they got, but they better have some people that can get physical because that's what they always don't have. Because you just body them up, and if they shoot bad, you're going to beat them. But we'll see what they got. And I really like their coach too. So at Purdue, why Kentucky can win number 9 national championship? They have elite backcourt play. Jaden Quaintance will add dominance to the 5 position and UK can wear people down. Yes, defensively we can wear you down. So that's what we got. That's going to be our calling card, I guess. It's just physical style, and then score however we have to score. They said, look, we can play a multiple of ways. We can play slow down. That's one thing they did compliment us on is we can play any style. You want to run, we'll run. You want to slow it down, you want to muck it up, as we say in football, we'll muck it up. So we can play any style, and we can do, anything with our lineup. So we have a deep team. So that's why we can win. Their roster can play any style of play. Yes, that's why we can win number 9, according to Jeff Goodman, Rob Dauster. Last thing they talked about was, and they're only guessing, that the word on the street is we spent 25% more than any other team. And the expectation is Final Four or bust, or it will be a disappointment. Which, yes, if we don't make a Final Four, that would be a disappointment, And then, of course, we'll have to fire Mark Pope, right? According to you guys. I mean, we'll have to fire Mark Pope. I mean, right? If he has one bad year, he's got to go. If he has, sorry, he had 2 years and he couldn't do it. I mean, that's what we do in football, right? We say, well, sorry, man. We won't apply that to that standard to Mark Pope. Nor should we. All right, guys. This is Kentucky Football Nation. If you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. I do lives. I do watch parties for the football games. We will not do a watch party for the South Carolina game, but we will do the next game and all the rest of them, starting with Georgia, and we'll do basketball games as my work schedule allows. We'll do watch parties for basketball games. So this is primarily a football channel, but it's also a basketball channel, and I have a basketball section of my channel you can check out. All right, guys, more videos coming, especially getting ready for South Carolina football. Thanks for watching.